Here we go. Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Chelsea Repeat podcast. This is, well, it depends on where you're listening. If you're listening on our podcast platform, it's episode 171. The win is the only Disney Plus, if you can get the pun there. And if you're joining on YouTube, then it's just a Monday Night Chelsea chat. I'm joined by my good friend Brady and my brother Chris. How are you guys doing? 2 wins and 2 games where 4 goals has been scored. Is the best way to put
I
it.
think this is it's just hopefully 4 more goals against Paris. These are like obviously the Villa win was huge, and the Wrexham win was
It was a win.
a win. Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah, credit to the players for the performance against Villa, and credit to the players for the result against Wrexham, as Rosinia said. So that's what we can say, really.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the pod and leave us some love wherever you're listening or watching on YouTube. That's a little thumbs up or subscribe. That'd be great. And if you want to be the first person to ever ask a question in the chat, feel free tonight. This is the first time we'll take a chat question if anyone's there. All right. Let's start with Villa Chelsea because it was a monumental win for the Blues. A hat trick from the man that's on fire, João Pedro. And a goal from open play for Cole Palmer as well. Chris has been careful to remind us that that's Cole Palmer's only goal in open play against a team in the top 5. Is that correct, Chris?
It was a team starting the
day in the top 5.
Yeah.
Flat track Cole. Is that what I'm saying?
A big goal for him. Villa
Penalty
obviously showed
Palmer.
up and weren't very good, to be honest. 0.78 xG for them. 3.6 for Chelsea. Also, Chelsea dominated possession, shots, big chances, everything you want, really. Chelsea were really, really good in this game. And, I think big props as well to Liam Rosinia for, I think, growing a lot since he's taken over in terms of his management of games. And, big tests in big away games. This was a monumental game before the game. The difference between going 9 points behind Villa if we lost to 3 points where we are now if we won was huge. Chelsea had a massive shift in their top 5 odds as well, going from 25% to almost 50% now to make the top 5, which just shows how monumental a win it was. Have you guys got any likes and dislikes from this game? I know we didn't really prep anything for this review, but any likes or dislikes?
Yeah, obviously, for like you kind of mentioned, for me this was a swing game, huge swing game. Villa have Chelsea and then Manchester United. I think if they had beaten Chelsea and maybe they beat United, I think catching them becomes very difficult with the fixtures that are left, even if they were to win like half of them or less than half. And for us, obviously we were on 45 points going into this. To get to 48, obviously there were some really favourable results as well. From the other games, so that was really helpful. But this is huge. It puts us right in the mix. I think it gives the players a lot of confidence as well, going into some of the other games that we've got coming up, because obviously after the Arsenal game, which was it was okay, but it didn't really, it always goes the same way against them, I guess. I think this was the game that they were really picturing as the one that was going to turn the corner for us if we were going to turn the corner. And I think it has. I think people are going to be worried about us. Obviously, the goals are really important to get as well. So it wasn't a narrow win. It was a pretty comprehensive one. So, yeah, I think the whole thing just speaks of quite a lot of positivity going forward for the next Premier League game, which obviously is against Newcastle. So look forward to that.
Brady,
Yeah,
obviously,
the like is obvious. Well, just it's just the biggest statement away win in non-Europe for a couple of years, really. Can't really. Obviously, we've had Club World Cups and Napoli away this year was really good, and we've in non-cup in the league, I can't think of a better away performance in such an important game in a long time. Maybe in Clear Lake. It's been very, very long time, and that's a huge positive because. Thinking ahead to next year, I think we're all thinking ahead to next year, maybe Chelsea can maybe get into that top 3 conversation. You have to win big away games. We've drawn too many games this year. Too many draws. If you look at the league table, 9 draws too many. And a lot of those draws are away games and home games, obviously not converting. The team's not a million miles away, but, it's that final little step to becoming a elite team that is often the hardest. So this is... it gives them some good muscle memory for next year when they go to Villa Park or Anfield or Emirates or Etihad or wherever.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've played well in some of those games away. Obviously, away at City, we just drew.
But it's like that doesn't do anything. Like, to be honest, you need to win. You need to win, really.
Absolutely.
I know, but yeah.
Let's give a big shout out as well to João Pedro. Another unreal performance from him. 2.61 XG in this game. If we just look at as well, he had 5 shots in this game as well. If we just look at him under Rossinha in general, I mean, let's talk about him overall as a player as well, because obviously not taking any penalties, 14 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League this season, 19 GA in 2,000 minutes. I mean, he's beyond really what even I think I would quite like the signing, but I think beyond what we all thought he could be at 9. Is that correct?
I think so. Obviously, he's putting Tammy Abraham numbers up with all these non-penalty goals. I think he showed a lot of quality in the Club World Cup, and then he kind of started the season. He kind of got a few goals, and then he went through this period where we had a lot of injuries. I don't think Maresca suited him in the end. I think
Maresca
the freedom
was very keen to play him at 10, wasn't he? For a lot of the
I think he wanted to get him more in the build-up, and actually his biggest weapon is probably his finishing, and that's probably an area where Maresca failed. I think because I think he, even when Delap was fit and Pedro was fit, he was playing Delap ahead of Delap 9 and Pedro 10. So yeah, look, it's Rossinha's found a good combo. He's massively helped by the return of Palmer. I still think that's a huge plus for him.
Yeah.
With just his movement as much as anything off the ball. So this is like you say, he surpassed our expectations, I think, for now. But it's all about these positions are all about consistency and delivering. When the going gets tough, and we've got some big games coming up, and if he can score some goals against Paris, I think that will start putting him on the radar. Yeah, but in no disrespect to the summer sun tournament, but this is going to be a different kettle of fish away at Paris.
All right, Carragher.
For me, the big difference for him since Rossinha has taken over, and I think Rossinha even talks about this in his post match, was just getting in the box and being there for shots. I think we can look under the Maresca era on FB Ref here. The amount of times that he had more than 3 shots in a game was only twice in the whole Maresca era that I can see here. And since Rossinha took over, he's had 4, 7, 4, and 5. So he's had 4 games, double the games, and obviously, and Rossinha's only had, I think, 13 games since he took over. So he's really improved that sort of 9 element of him, where he's really in the box and he's really participating in actual attacking motions while still helping out and build up. He still really does work hard, and I know he's in one of the top percentiles as well for his pressing as well, so he's really putting in a full shift at 9 for us. So I did want to give João Pedro a big shout out. And then let's look at the league table as well, because it's made a massive difference to where we are in the league and where we are going forward. See, Manchester United in 3rd, their luck finally ran out in Newcastle, 51 points. Villa, I think we can see them dropping off as well, 51 points. Chelsea in 5th on 48, and Liverpool in 6th on 48 as well. Our goal difference as well, we'll just talk about that, is massive. Plus 19 compared to all the teams around, plus 11, plus 5, plus 9. That should carry us through if we ever were on level points with anyone, which, is not outside the realms of possibility given how tight these sort of 4 spots are here. It's really going to be 3 from 4, I'd imagine. Has this game really shifted any of your thoughts? You think because I think, Chris, you were saying 6th was most likely last week.
I don't know if it shifted too much just because of our fixtures that we have left, but it's given some hope that we can score goals. I think. Look, the Villa games, the way Villa play and the way they're set up is a little bit different than a lot of teams. So, not many people play that high line that they do. So, I think taking it as some sort of guide as to the rest of the season is a little bit misleading. I think
I know a team that plays a high line, playing them in a couple of days.
Yeah, but like Newcastle, they're not going to play like that. I think they're under it, so they're going to come to defend, I think, as they normally tend to do, and try and get us on the counter, which actually suits their players. So that will be a real test, because obviously, like, if you think back to the Burnley and the Leeds game, those are the drop points that you can't afford. And Villa away, yeah, it's a great win, but I think we would have preferred to beat Burnley and Leeds and lost to Villa. That's the reality. That's more points. So yeah, see how they do against Newcastle. But I wouldn't say this is a lock at the moment.
There's not feeling confident.
There's not much room for error. I'll say that much. And it's whether if we get deeper in the Champions League and rotate. I mean, obviously, after the Villa performance, you are a lot more optimistic. But I agree with Chris that their system. I think Liam Tooney said on the Straight Out of Common podcast that Chelsea love playing versus a high line. We just generally love it. And the teams, if they're smart, will just set up in a low block versus us, because low block is still basically our kryptonite. So yeah, but I don't know. I mean, the Newcastle game is huge. We have to win that game because Villa and United are playing each other. So whatever happens, we'll be within. We'll either be within. If Villa beat United, we'll be one. Same points as United. If Villa lose, we'll be at the same points as them. So yeah, it's a huge. Every weekend is massive, and sandwiched in with some Champions League ties. So see how we go. But I mean, the fixtures, Chelsea can. It's in our hands, really. United at home, Liverpool away. Like, you win those games.
One of the key risks clearly is the Paris game is this obviously on this week on Wednesday, and then it's Newcastle on Saturday, right? Historically, when Chelsea are rotating players, because they'll have to rotate because they'll know the Paris game's coming next week.
I don't think he will rotate much.
Some of these guys can't even hack it for like playing 3 games in a row, like Fofana, James maybe. So as soon as you start putting Badiashile and Tosin back in, Newcastle game suddenly looks like and we saw what happened on the weekend, and that was against Wrexham. It doesn't take much for this defence to fall apart quite quickly. So this is why I'm a little bit hesitant to sort of say.
I do think looking at the turnaround, the Newcastle game's the only one we'll have to do any rotation for, because then it's Tuesday, Saturday, so that's fine.
Well, the Port Vale game isn't in there, which will move another one. And then if we get past Paris, that will then be a midweek game. So, these things build up. So that's why. And then you end up going, one game could be jammed in between City and United. And it doesn't, I said, like going to Everton and that's a draw. Like if all the other teams win, it doesn't take much.
I think
we have to play a lot of these teams, right, as well. So we play United and Liverpool.
The striker, I think... Go on. Striker and centre back are the only areas where rotating heavily will hurt us a lot, though, right?
Oh, early Delap slander. I
think it's true. And look, we'll get some people back on the wing. I think Esteval and Gittins, if he can help, he might come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think the centre back issue this season, which wasn't targeted in the summer or in January. Although they did try and get that guy, but it would have gotten for the summer who went to Liverpool, Jacquet. This is a big problem for us going into this sort of period of the season. Because if we end up having to play Tosin and Badiashile, like we could be in trouble because they will give away chances.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Wrexham. Unfortunately, we do have to talk a little bit about this game. It wasn't pretty. For large parts of this game. Wrexham 1.87 XG to 1.73 for Chelsea, 68% possession to 32%, 21 shots for Chelsea, which is a lot under Rossini. I'm not sure if we had more than that under him, and 19 for Wrexham. 19 shots for Wrexham. Christ.
Most of those came when they had 10 men, I think.
Yeah. Some really bad performances for Chelsea. I mean, let's skip likes and dislikes unless anyone's got anything good. You got anything good for likes and dislikes?
Well, there was a like for this game, and a bit of a pattern under Rossini. He's got a bit of a knack, more than Maresca, for winning. When we play badly, for winning.
Sure.
Like Brentford, we were awful when we won. West Ham game, obviously, second half was good, but first half was dire. This game, we won. Palace away, I didn't think we were great for first half, and you win the game. And Napoli away was poor first half as well when you win it. So a lot of games he's just dug out, where Maresca was the classic, when you're 2-0 down at Ipswich, the game's over. There was a little bit of Maresca where, like,
still,
when
that
he's
really
playing.
bothered you, didn't it? Like, he's still bringing.
Well,
it
you
up.
just can't say. You just can't say that. You just can't say that, Chelsea manager.
For me, that was a bit of a. That was kind of the beginning of the end. That game.
Yeah. And like Maresca was a bit of a plan A guy, a little bit like Pep. But when the plan A doesn't work, it's like, well, just. He even said it once, like throw the plan in the bin because they set up with a 5 instead of a 4. Like Maresca was like that. He was too rigid to his start. When he got it right, Maresca, Club World Cup, final, etc., it really went right. But when it went wrong, it went badly wrong. And I think Rossini is a little bit more adaptable, not as rigid in his tactics, and I think it works out. He's just managing to just play poorly and get over the line, and that's what Arsenal been doing for 2 months. So, I mean, and they're raving that everyone, they're top of the league. So,
yeah. There's not much in this game for like sort of. Well, I mean, dislike is just the whole thing.
We can dislike the players, I think.
I couldn't wait for it to end. I was like begging for the time to disappear.
I do have to say, I've got a bit of sympathy with Rossini a little bit. Is that usually, let's say the Gittins was fit and Esteval was fit, we had no attacking. I mean, he would have had to play. He would have had to play Derry at right wing, right? Is that his name, Derry?
Yeah.
And he came on and he looked, not he's a young lad, but he didn't look great at right wing. So he would have had to have started Derry to play a 4, really. So he had no attacking options. So he went for a back 5 with Josh right wing back, which obviously was a nightmare. I actually thought Gusto should have played this game, and that's quite rare for me to say.
I think it's pretty telling that Gusto didn't play, which means that he is going to play against PSG, isn't he?
He's going to play the same team that beat.
I do feel a bit where, like, if Gittins was fit and if Esteval was fit, I think the team would have looked better because our second string attacking wise is just because of the injuries. It's a myth, really.
Yeah,
I think
let's talk about
the whole thing. Yeah.
Let's talk players anyway. Let's get some people. It's Antarctica out here. It's the frozen tundra. In the depths of the freezer is a remarkable amount of Chelsea players. But we have gone with Liam Delap, Pedro Neto,
the classics,
and Romeo Lavia. Chris has put the entire team in there, but we will talk about. Let's go talk about Neto, Brady, because I'll chime in a bit on this as well.
Well, Neto, it's just 10%. He just can't accurate crosses. It's 10% accurate crosses again. 10 crosses, one and one's accurate. There was one that, and I know Wrexham's a small stadium, but then he went out of the stadium. He's inverting too much from the right. He's barely going to the bar line anymore on the right. So it's really predictable where he's going to go. He hangs on to, I know Gary Neville compared him to Hazard. So I don't know, he's hanging on to the ball too much, and he thinks he's the problem in this game. And this is not disparaging to Pedro Neto because, again, Lee and Tooney said that he's okay at a lot of things. Neto, he's not really good at anything, but he's like 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 most things.
What is his best attribute, Neto? Chris, you can answer this actually because you quite like him.
Tracking back.
What's his best attribute as a winger? His work rate?
His work rate, definitely.
Yeah, tracking back. So
because what was really noticeable was how Garnacho wasn't getting back on the other side,
but then
and that was really causing.
Garnacho is an active goal for it though, isn't he? Like
he's only got 1 goal on the Prem.
Yeah, but he is.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of goals in the cup competitions.
I work for a sports. I work for
great in the Carabao Cup.
I work for a sports book. I work for a sports book, and if 1-on-1, I always want Garnacho instead of Neto. Neto, I never back him anywhere near goal.
He scored in the Club World Cup a lot 1-on-1.
Yeah, but that's ages ago. That's
What's he at now for this? What's he at now for the season?
I'm not being funny. Talk about yesterday's papers. I mean, this guy, Game of Thrones
the other week, didn't he?
He's got
Game of Thrones winter, and
he's got 0 goals and 1 assist in the Premier League this calendar year.
I know I get on him. I'm going to get on another player as well later, but he's okay, Neto. But I said next year, want to move.
He's a bad fit for a top team, Neto. Really, because you end up with a lot of the ball. Like this game is a good example. You end up with 68% possession, and really Neto when he's in possession, and there's players around him. It's just not ideal. Like he's just not a good player in that scenario. Like he's not creative.
Definitely.
Like he's not good at passing.
No.
You get him in and around the box, and really you want a different profile of player completely, and that's an issue when you're Chelsea because you don't ever really play against teams I don't think there was any coincidence that Neto didn't play against Villa, and that was our best attacking performance of the season. Villa turned up and played, very poorly and didn't create any threat, which obviously didn't matter then the defensive stuff. But yeah, I think attacking wise, he's sort of taken a spot up without really influencing things in an attacking sense, and that is really detrimental when you're looking to challenge at the top end, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. I think when we have a lot of the ball, he doesn't quite have the skill, the know-how to influence the game. Whereas I think when the game's a little bit more open, I think he's a little bit better. Like Wrexham were pretty deep in this game, and he struggled quite a lot. And loads of ball losses, way too many ball losses when he gets the ball. Very selfish as well, like not releasing the ball earlier.
Chris is going in on that. He's going in on Neto here.
Is part analysing the game. Yeah. I know you guys have your favourites. For me,
he's not my favourite.
Doesn't release the ball quick enough. Very selfish on the ball. I think that something's got into his head that he's like the best player on the team.
This is what I said about Hazard. He was compared to Hazard, and now he's hanging on to the ball and put his foot on the ball. And in any match of football, you do not want Pedro Neto thinking he's the main man, because he is the most side man I've ever seen.
Well, he's run up and down the wing.
He's the ultimate side man.
He really reminded me of watching Madueke when he was playing against Wrexham, because he was taking like 40 touches. At least Madueke's got.
I don't like Madueke. He's got a bit of sparkle on Madueke. Madueke can actually beat a man.
Madueke
at dead ball. Like
that goal Madueke scored. Do you remember he curled it into the top corner from long range in the FA League Cup or FA Cup last season or season before? Like Neto can't score that goal.
I think he did score that goal, didn't he? Against Arsenal.
No, that was like a low.
I mean, there was a good tweet. We were spared from that celebration of him getting the winner when he hit the bar. We were spared from that, which was good. So, yeah, I said, can we move on? I don't know. The other wingers probably have to improve to sell him, because our wing, let's see what Coenda's like, but I don't know if there's much of a market for Pedro Neto. Where's he going to go? Like, he'll want to go to another big club like Man United.
I think he should go to I think actually he'd be really good at like Newcastle.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good.
But they can't afford him.
I mean, we'll trade him for Lewis Hall.
They've done. Yeah.
Let's talk Delap, because he needs to be talked about.
You guys do it.
I actually forgot you're playing. Was he playing?
He had a really poor game, Delap. I don't know. He's not in the game at all. And obviously, when Pedro plays that exact role for us, he's very in the game. And even Pedro came on for like. What did he come on for? 20 minutes.
I mean, Guiu, he came off in this game, and Guiu was at 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how embarrassing it was for him. I mean, he'll look at the Wolves game and this game. How many shots do you think he had in those two games?
None. 2.
0 shots. Yeah. Like he did a good thing in this game where it's fair to him for the first goal. It's basically all him, where he turns, really good centre forward play. Makes the right ball to Garnacho. Garnacho scores that weird goal where it comes off the goalkeeper. But that's essentially
but the problem with that is that he's doing that, and it's like an anomaly. Whereas when Pedro gets it, he's almost every time he's able to control the ball or keep it and pass it to one of our players.
Well,
and that's the issue.
He's really good from the centre spot to the edge of the box, because he did that at Ipswich. He can eat up ground in transition.
Yeah.
When he gets to the box, he is completely useless around the box. Yeah. And there's a misconception with Delap. He can't head the ball.
No, yeah.
He's not a good head. He's not good aerially.
He's actually good when the ball's up in the air, like from long goal kicks and things like
he's
that.
Strong. He's strong, but he doesn't use it in the right way. He's too aggressive. Like his balance is a bit off. Yeah, like I say, he's not good aerially. He's just a really, really bad fit against a low block. And I think it's obvious what's happened. If he didn't have a 30 million release clause, Chelsea would have been nowhere near him. Do you think Chelsea would have bought Liam Delap for 50 million? No way. Like,
but that's part of that is part of how you're analysing transfers, isn't it? The fee is important. Right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know, you go into a shop and it's like, oh, there's a bit of a discount. Oh, I'll go for it, and usually you wouldn't. It is that I think he did have a ceiling. He was Tesco club cards, wasn't he? Really, he was a Tesco club card striker. He was like, you get a bit cheaper. It's just,
I think he did enough in the Prem to suggest that he might be good, but he clearly isn't. I think
exactly. 100%. I think
it's a good. I think it's a good deal.
Signing. at all, because I think I was sort of sold on him being, a bit of a low block killer for us or whatever. He's definitely not that.
Nah.
He's no good against low blocks at all. Actually, he can't control the
And,
ball.
and honestly, I know you can laugh when I say this, and he probably won't stay next year. Let's just say that Delap leaves and Jackson becomes a number 2, number 9. It'll be a huge upgrade for the team. Because Jackson, whatever you say about Jackson, and he will probably leave, he is much better fit for Chelsea than Delap.
Yeah.
Whether you like him or not, and his numbers are much better. And, it's just... And also, there's a really annoying thing about this narrative. Because Delap's got injured, and he's English, everyone's like, oh, it's because he had an injury. No one forgets that Nick Jackson had a hamstring tear, a really bad one, and was that also out for 2 months, but then it was completely irrelevant to his form. People very pick and choosy the way they talk about injuries.
Yeah.
And Delap's injured. Delap could be the most fit guy on earth. He's not good enough for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's not good enough for the system, and he never will be. And
I know we'll say this, but minutes from him now as well.
It is literally go to West Ham and play on the break with Bowen. That's your level. He shouldn't be here. So
he's played. I like to give players 1,000.
Didn't we get 40 million for him though?
Sorry,
I think you can get 40 mil for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Craig told me the minute we buy him, we make money. So I've got that on record.
He won't go for he won't go for under 30 million.
I think it was a good buy for the price, but he was the backup striker, so I was,
I'd sell him for less than 30. I put it that way.
The player in my freezer, just want to talk about. We'll move on from Delap. I think we all are on the same page roughly with him. Lavia,
Finally.
Romeo
Pennies
Lavia. Who else is concerned about Romeo Lavia?
No, not at all.
No, he's just come back from injury, isn't he?
Bit of an overreaction from you. You're like, oh, he's finished in WhatsApp. I don't know what's all that about. He's just come back from injury.
Started his first game for about a year.
I'm concerned about him, the way he's moving.
I'm in the same space that I was when Wesley Fofana was getting injured all the time, where really good player, but his main issue is injuries. We've seen way better
performances from... What's Lavia's standout performances for Chelsea?
Tottenham away last year, he was sensational.
He was good when he came on the other day against Arsenal, I thought.
Yeah.
That 4-3, honestly, if you rewatch that 4-3 game versus Postecoglou,
I think Fofana's had some absolutely unreal games at centre-back for us.
Yeah, but Lavia hasn't even... Has he ever completed 90 minutes? Or was the whole thing I don't know how you can...
That's part of what I'm holding against it.
Craig, you're a ceiling guy.
But you're saying today in this game.
I'm a ceiling guy. Absolutely, I'm a ceiling guy. Yeah,
but you're a ceiling guy, and the ceiling with Lavia is high.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I used to be on that. I used to think that actually massively, even up to last summer. But now we're in March again, and
this is why Lavia is so good.
Give him a break, to bed him in, and it's we're almost in April.
This is why Lavia can literally be incredible for Chelsea. He can receive the ball facing his own goal and turn and go. He never looks to go back. He always looks to pivot. And that means he can immediately give it to Palmer and we're through the line like that.
So another reason...
he's literally a low block killer doing that. Because they have to realign.
Is because he was in the UEFA B team registration for us this season. Next season he moves to the A team. So we'd have to register him almost like a new signing for the UEFA squad list, which is a big deal for us because we've only got one space on that, and we've already got Quenda and Omega coming in. Is there someone else coming in?
They won't say.
Yeah, but some people will be leaving though, right? So I wouldn't worry about that.
Uncle
who's on the A list? Is Tosin on the A list?
Of course he's on the A list. Where else?
Right, he's gone.
Yeah, I think they're going to sell a lot of people this summer again. 100%.
Of course.
And just from a business point of view, you can't sell Lavia now. He's the lowest ever. He's got no minutes.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Lavia, I've got to say. I'm worried about him physically. Obviously, just going 3 years without playing football is tough. It's a long road back to play centre mid from having 3 years off now, with basically not playing.
And then super young though. Super young.
Is he that
I'll
young?
give him till. I'll see how he's going in August or September.
He's a question.
He's 22 still. He's still 22.
A bit of an overreaction, maybe, basically. I'm worried about Romeo Lavia. I'm worried about him. All right, warming up. We've gone Asugo.
Finished in the freezer, have we?
Yeah, the freezer. Who else do you want in there? Just say a name.
Sanchez. He was really off against Arsenal. I thought he was really indecisive in that game, and again in this one, ball goes over Tosin's head as it always does, and he should come and get it. He should come and get it.
Nah,
anyone with any awareness knows what Wrexham are doing because they were doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
From the first minute of the game. Anyone with a brain goes, I'll just stand a bit further out because when they kick the ball over the top and Tosin misses it, as he always does, I'll just kick it out of play. And then he ended up in this position where he was nowhere because he started retreating instead of going to the ball because he obviously worried about the red card issue that he's suffered with before, and that was obviously on everyone's mind. So he ends up nowhere and they score. And he just, for me, the whole game, he's just all over the place. Like, I don't know what he's doing. He's in his own head. He was dropped, obviously, against Villa. That probably didn't help him either. But I think he's on his way out. I can't see him starting against Paris, and I don't think we'll see much of him. I think he's done. I think he's finished.
Wow, that's the big call. The big call from Chris.
He's finished. You can see. Also, you can see him
defending Sanchez, like even up until about 10 games ago.
What do you mean defending him?
Well, he played well. Saying like, yeah, he's had a really good season. He's been our most improved player.
I don't think I ever said that.
I think that Sanchez has had still had a good season. He dipped lately.
He was really careful to choose his words there. I think Sanchez has had a very good season.
I'm not going to say. I mean,
it was good when he was playing well, and he played badly.
At Christmas, or about a month ago, or 6 weeks ago, he's probably one of the most improved players, to be honest. But the base was low, right? Like he's going from being poor to being good. So yeah, I think he's a good goalkeeper, and I think Jorgensen's a good goalkeeper, but I think it's door three they're looking for. I think they're just biding time for Penders. And especially because he played us they will just be hoping that Penders is as good as the hype, because obviously he played under Rossini as well, and we're all human, we all work in the workplace, Rossini knows Penders. He's literally played for him. He'll have an eye on that. He won't admit it, but he'll have an eye on that. Thinking, right, Mike's coming in next year. I wouldn't mind him hanging around. So, it'll be him or Jorgensen to go. So we'll have to wait.
Do we all think that Jorgensen's going to start on Wednesday night against PSG?
Probably, yeah.
I do, yeah.
I think he actually started in for Villa.
Evidence. That's evidence enough for everyone. I think that he's finished.
I think he did that with PSG in mind, where if Jorgensen has a good game, I'm going to go with him against PSG because I think he'd be a better fit for building.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk some positives. Let's talk about Dario Sugo, because he was a positive from this game, because he came on the 65th minute and ended up playing an hour of football.
Raise the roof
as well. 2 assists for Dario Sugo.
It's Dario time.
On FotMob.
Super Dario.
There's some mixed reviews from some people, but I
Neto, take note. Well. Neto, take notes on the cross, yeah. That's across the ball.
Is 20 years old as well. He's actually such a young player.
He's elite. I think
the early call of elite from Chris.
his I wouldn't say his acceleration's actually so his top speed is insane. It takes some time to get going, but yeah, his passing is great. I love watching him play. His cross for the goal is delicious.
Delish.
And you need a little tap in merchant at the back post to knock it in, and that's exactly what Garnacho is. He's a little fox in the box, isn't he? So
that's good though.
Yeah. Did I say it's a bad thing?
Well, we just assume when you're talking about Garnacho, it's like a criticism.
You said tap-in merchant. Tap-in merchant's usually.
I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy when Garnacho's terrible, right? But when he plays well, he will get praise. So I thought he did really well for the goal. But yeah, look, Sugo, he's just looking like a really, really good, solid player, and he's a big guy, which I love. We don't like these little shrimps that keep waltzing up at Chelsea. So he's quite tall, isn't he?
No. Yeah, he's taller than you think, Lavia.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's stocky as well, Lavia. But yeah, Sugo's got a bit of presence about him. I think he's going places. No doubt. This guy, he's going places.
I think he's going to stay part of the squad as well. Seems like
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Obviously, this guy's elite.
Like him. Yeah.
And one of the best things about him is you can chop Caicedo's minutes up. The classic, Moyes going to get injured if he keeps playing the amount he does and the intensity he does. It's just that simple. He's just going to get injured. And yeah, it's just good to have another destroyer in there. And yeah, I think he's very good.
Didn't even travel to Wrexham. Caicedo,
Neither did
Caicedo,
James.
Palmer,
Jorgensen.
These guys really given the night off to rest and recuperate and work on some tactical stuff for PSG. I think.
And another thing, just lastly on him, he's very good in the air.
Yeah. Him
very
and Caicedo
good in the
actually
air.
are really surprisingly good in the air for their.
He's defensively, aerially for us. He was very good. Anything that came near him, he was all over. I think he helped out in a few spots as well, getting back. His awareness looks okay.
It's actually been a real shame this season that he has obviously been part of our first team squad, but he's been injured for so long that he hasn't played at all. Because it'd be really exciting to see how he developed. It's not very often they've given these 20-year-olds a chance straight away to be part of the squad. So I think they must think a lot of Asuga.
I don't think there's anyone else to play though, is there?
Well, I do think they think a lot of him. They wouldn't have given him this role, I don't think. And I think you can see that when he plays. That I think he looks good to me anyway. Right, let's talk about the other warming up. Which actually, Chris, you didn't give us a warming up. Have you got anyone that you like?
I actually thought Jarrell Hatto was had another good performance. I thought he was looking more confident again, quite more skillful than he usually is as well. There's some very nice touches.
I think he's getting some confidence, Hatto. He really is. He's more confident on the ball.
He's playing well, Hatto. I think he was Ajax captain. I mean, I know Ajax was slipping last year, but when you're a captain at 19 years old of a massive club like that, he's got something. This player. He took a long time to get going, but he's looking very good to me.
Yeah, he's got a really good touch. I was saying in the game, Champong's got one of the worst first touches in the squad. But Hatto, he's very neat and tidy with what he does. He is a little bit reckless still in his decision making. So he does need to improve on that. Maybe that will help. Maybe with time he can be a bit calmer, but
I think he needs to be a bit more decisive. He sort of hesitates a lot to whether to go or to stay, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. But yeah, I think that'll come.
His role is changing every game as well, so it's not easy.
Yeah,
you get used to the tactics.
And I would say that to Achimpong as well. Obviously he's not right wing back, and he's playing right wing back in this game just because we're trying to get through a game by resting players. So it's a bit harsh to judge Josh, although he did score a great goal in this game. I wanted to quickly talk about Garnacho as warming up. It could obviously have gone in boiling hot as well.
Very good week for him as well. Very good at Villa.
Yeah.
Best game in the Chelsea shirt at Villa.
So two quality games. I mean, he was man of the match basically against Villa. Who did get man of the match? Oh, João Pedro obviously in that game. And then Fotmob's man of the match against Wrexham. I actually heard a pundit on TalkSport describe Garnacho as absolutely horrendous in this game. I do feel like he gets a lot of random hate, Garnacho.
Yeah.
It's quite bizarre actually, from not just from Chelsea fans, actually from just the media and people in general. But yeah, he was really good, and obviously was a great bit of play to induce the red card as well. Like really skillful. He's really pacey. Great finish for the goal. There was obviously the first goal is really his goal as well. He should have got 2 goals in the game. Obviously the guy clears it off the line, back off the goalie, but. I thought he really gives us something unique in behind that no other player in our squad, apart from João Pedro, can make those runs in behind. And obviously we had Nico Jackson that was making those sort of runs in behind last year, but no one else does it in the team. And it really gives us a tactical advantage in these games. Obviously you noticed it really against Villa, who played the higher line. But even in this game, he was getting in behind. There was a couple of times where he got in one-on-one or in behind, and obviously the goal, he's unmarked at the back post. He's got some really valuable traits that he's had some stinkers, and Mourinho and Rosenior, Freudian slip there, Rosenior and Mourinho, but he had some really bad games, and Rosenior gave him a break. He's given him 3 basically full games off. And he's come back with 90 and 120, and he probably won't start against PSG, but he's quite a nice player against away at PSG, especially if the game's tight, to bring on last 10 minutes. Maybe Knickers, not an away goal.
Well, I think Garnacho should. I think Garnacho should probably start the game, to be honest.
I think if he hadn't have played 91-20 this week, I would agree.
I think
but
you need to give Garnacho
then...
way more than 10 minutes in this game for me, because Neto left wing.
Also, Hakimi is really fast.
Yeah, but he's worried about the issue with Garnacho is his defensive contribution.
I get it, but
so
I get it, but
yeah. Anyway, just want to talk about Garnacho in warming up, because I think he's playing really well at the moment. Okay, boiling hot. We've got VAR.
Just on Garnacho, I thought when he's on the wing and it was 2v1, I thought he was looking quite poor. But I think once we pushed more play down the right, and he was more in the box, and then he was receiving the ball across the line where he was 1v1, I think that was a better spot for him. So I do think when he plays, it'd be better if, obviously, he was 1v1 versus Cash, which is ideal because he's like 30, 35 or whatever. But I think when we are playing with him, I think it is good if we can push him to receive the ball
I think all
to the goal.
Should do what Arsenal did, and West Ham did this as well, which is push us down our left side, because that's our weaker side where the players go forward. So the players that are on the left side are great at box crashing. Enzo, Cucurella, Garnacho, they're really good at getting in spots for crosses and scoring goals. And on the right side, we've got great players on the ball: Caicedo, Reece James, Cole Palmer, Esteval. João Pedro goes to that side as well. Great players that can cross the ball in. I'll include loosely Neto in that as well. But they're the players that we want on the ball to create, and the players on the left side tend to be the players that can get in behind and box crash. So we've got sort of a natural dynamic where the ball should traditionally shift to the right side as we attack more than the left, I think.
I mean, and also on Hakimi, that's a double-edged sword. Hakimi likes to bomb forward, and Garnacho runs it behind. There'll be an acres of space, right? That's how we exposed them last time. So yeah, look, against PSG, you're not going to be able to lock it up. You're going to have to give it a bit of leeway. And we're away, obviously. You don't want to lose the tie in the first leg. I get that, but Garnacho needs minutes against PSG because he's probably one of the former attackers at the club at the moment, and Neto's performances are consistently average in any game except Hull. So I think we need to ride the wave a bit and give him some minutes, I think.
All right, apart from VAR, do we have anything for boiling hot?
No, I thought VAR was goodness game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously VAR saved us with the...
No, I mean, all joking aside, I mean, we get a lot of stick. It's like, it was offside, and it was a very bad and it was a very bad challenge.
People were talking about VAR after this game like they've been absolutely robbed, Wrexham. It's like, well, absolutely shocking challenge. And then
talk about Garnacho. Garnacho is lucky he didn't have his leg planted because it would have broke his leg. Yeah. Like, it was a very, very, very bad challenge. He was completely out of control.
Clear red.
Completely out of control. And it's a red light. That's what it's good for. And it's the offside. He's like a yard offside or whatever.
Exactly. It's not even close. Like, he's miles off.
He's just the yard offside. I'm sorry, you can't moan about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think also, like, when you look at red cards, you should look at, like, tackles that you want to outlaw. Like, you don't really want to see people tackling like how that guy was doing it.
Parkinson, that guy, Phil Parkinson was moaning about it afterwards. If Chelsea scored a winner and it was offside and there was no VAR, I'd be up in arms. Do you know what I mean? It's this...
So just briefly want to talk about... So let's move on to PSG. The biggest game of the season so far. Absolutely colossal tie. Odds makers have it roughly 50-50. PSG are slightly favoured to qualify, but basically it's pick 'em. We're going to flip a coin and see who goes through. And it's going to be whoever plays better over two legs. Chelsea have got to be up for it. I just wanted to mention this, and someone else that I follow on X, whose name escapes me right now, was talking about this as a possibility for Chelsea against PSG, which is Reece James at centre-back. Again, we did try this once, and it looked really bad. Who was that against?
Napoli.
Remember? Yeah, Napoli. Well, it didn't look really bad, but it looked quite bad, didn't it? But I think that they are worried in this game about playing out from the press, and the fact that
Fofana, not Chalobah. Oh, Chalobah.
Yeah, Chalobah. I don't know if they'll do this, but I did see this as a potential. Obviously, this is the predicted lineup on Football, but it's not gospel by any means, and I'm expecting Jorgensen to start, not Sanchez. So already that's a red flag for me in terms of this projected team. But I did hear this as a potential option, Reece James at centre-back, and I wonder if he plays 3-4-3. I think if we look back at PSG's games against Strasbourg that they played when Rafinha was there, he played 3-4-3 against them every single time. So I wonder if that'll be something that he will consider doing and play Reece James as sort of a right centre back and play James, Fofana, and Chalobah.
There's very little chance he will definitely play Chalobah in this game.
Yeah. So I wonder if Neto doesn't play, and they'll play Caicedo, Santos, and then Enzo in that left 10 sort of thing, and Cucurella providing the width and Gusto providing the right width. That's a possibility, I think, in this game.
I would just not play Andre Santos in this game because I think he's been quite poor recently. And I think you just have Enzo 10, Caicedo and Reece in midfield. You play Gusto for that width. You trust Trevor and Chalobah. Sorry, Chalobah and Fofana to play it out. And I think you need a left winger. You need an outlet, and I think you play Garnacho in this game. I think you should tuck. I think you should tuck Palmer in and let Gusto be the up and down fullback because there'll only be one, right?
Yeah.
And expose Mendes again like he did in the Club World Cup final, and let Palmer drift centrally, and Garnacho's a width. We need you can't have Palmer and Enzo. We have no width. The only way we're going to deal teams is with width. So
those are the two options. This is 3-2-5 set up with James, Fofana, and Chalobah as the three. Caicedo and Santos ahead, and then Gusto, Palmer, Enzo, Cucurella, Pedro.
So I like that you've got Mudryk suspended. You could say that at the bottom there.
And then the other option is obviously to play an actual winger like Neto and drop a centre back. So probably well, I think Gusto almost has to play, so you have to play James in midfield. So it's probably be Santos that would go, and then you would end up playing something like this, where Fofana, Chalobah, and Cucurella are the three, and Caicedo and James play in midfield. Then you get Neto tracking Hakimi down the left, as opposed to Cucurella. So that's a little bit more of an attacking lineup, but both are pretty similar, to be honest, and both would sort of give you the similar sort of setup in possession.
I think he'll be pragmatic. I think he's shown in cup football that Arsenal away game. He'll be very much staying the time mode. I think. I don't think he'll go gung ho because I think that's the way we've seen.
I don't see why not. Right, because this
no away goals.
This Paris team is if their midfield is going to be Zaire-Emery, Vitinha, and Fernandes, I think you got to go for it.
Yeah.
Because by the time you get around to the second leg, it's quite likely that Neves and Ruiz will be back. So I think.
Ruiz and Neves are out. Wow.
Yeah, so I think this is it depends if they're back or not. Yeah, but if they're not there, I think you've got to make hay while the sun shines here and try and dictate the game and try and create chances. And if you get a couple of goals, then start thinking about countering them or whatever. But these ties are there to be, the reason that anyone can win the Champions League is because of games like this where Paris turn up and their midfield's depleted basically, and that's that's just the way it goes. So I think we've got to go to this game and try and win. I don't think there's any wait. Can't wait around.
I'm not saying that. I just think the kind of manager Rossini is. I agree with you, but. And the players will have that mental muscle memory of them. They know they can front this team, right? I mean, it will make a difference that they know they can front this team. But whether you call it the Club World Cup final or not, it does make a difference.
I think if we let Vitinha dictate the game, we'll concede shots. And I don't back Jorgensen that much for shot saving, unfortunately. So,
Paris are not what they were last year. They just got beat 3-1 by Monaco.
Yeah, they're aware of this game. I think. Yeah, but I do agree with you. They're definitely not as fluid as they were last season. They're not in the same form. That they had everyone fit every week, so it is different. But they do have danger up front, and they've got people that can walk past some of our players. So it's.
I'd be really worried for shots from in and around the area if we start Jorgensen. I just don't think he's a very good shot stopper. So.
It doesn't take much to.
He's got a mistake in him, I think, Jorgensen. It's a real tough environment for him to play in. To come in and play your first Champions League game. I don't know. It's just I think there's too much of a risk to play Jorgensen, even if he thinks it gives him something in build up that Sanchez isn't giving him. I would rather give the ball away 5 more times and have Sanchez's shot stopping than keep Jorgensen, I think, in net, because like I say, they've got a lot of players that are in and around that can shoot, and I've no confidence in Jorgensen making 5 good saves in this game.
Anyway, what's predictions? You first, Craig.
I'm going to go 1-1, but I actually think Chelsea might nick it 2-1.
Chris?
I think what were we? I'm trying to think back to the Napoli game and how poor we were in the first half. I think this could be 2-1 Paris.
I'll go for the median then. 2-1 Chelsea, 2-1 Paris. I'll go for 1-1 because I think it would be tight.
Okay. I'm expecting us to play well in this game, similar to PSG, to play some really nice football. I think we will definitely get chances in this game, so hopefully we take them. Another Cole Palmer open play goal. That's what
the inferiority complex in these guys' heads for me is very worrying that I saw at Arsenal in that game.
I don't think they'll have
played.
that in this game. I think it's a completely different game. Right.
I think when you step into the cauldron.
Yeah. I think Arsenal are a much, much better team than PSG this season. Much, much better. Right, that's all we've got time for today. Regardless of the result in the PSG and Newcastle game, we will be back next Monday chatting some more Chelsea. For more updates on all things ESR, you can follow us on X at Eat Sleep Chelsea and Instagram at Eat Sleep Chelsea Repeat. As always, we hope you're carefree wherever you may be. And thanks for listening.